Good afternoon, Sir Zan. Good afternoon to my classmates, Sir Jared and Sir Kenneth. Good afternoon. This is my recorded video about case study 3 under deliverable 3. It talks about a case na nga taas siya basahon, but I'll try to summarize things. That's why I choose to put a visual presentation about my answers para dali ra masabtan. Okay, so first question, was waterfall the right choice for VariScare's MidSync 2.0? What signals in the project context should have informed the methodology decisions before it was made? So, ang waterfall methodology, for me, dili siya mao ang pinaka maayo nga primary approach for MidSync 2.0. So, maayo lang kini for documentation, compliance, budget control, o board reporting. Dili kini flexible sa daghang changes o uncertainty sa maong project. Yeah. First, adunay strict regulatory deadline nga kinahanglang certified ang portal by quarter 2 2025 aron malikayan ang possible nga 4.7% nga Medicaid reimbursement loss estimated at $1.8 million per year. So tungod nini kinahanglang regular ang testing og validation dili lang kay sa final stage for the problems nga makita. Second, unstable ang Epic Link FAIR R4 API. Sa diyang na-update ni, nausab ang patient identifiers o halos 40% sa iyang back-end code. Nga, napakita lang ni nga kinahanglan nga ang early API testing o iterative integration. Third, limited ang availability sa clinical staff. Dili sila maka-attend sa mga weekly meetings, pero they need gihapon to regular feedback through monthly validation, short demos, or clinical representatives. Fourth, it's complicated ang maong existing systems sa ValueCare. Nga dunay 11 EHR environments o 4 billing systems. That's why it is necessary nga continuous gihapon ang integration og module by module testing. So second, identify 2 benefits that waterfall genuinely delivered and 2 ways it amplified the damage caused by the month 9 crisis. Then do the same for Scrum. So, ang waterfall nakatabang ni sa ValueCare through a formal governance, documentation, compliance review, schedule ug budget control. Importante ni for the MidSync 2.0 nga naghandle sa protected health information nga dunay 2.4 million budget o planned April 2025 nga launch. But waterfall na siya crisis. Napabiling green ang project dashboard bisan adunay changing APIs, delayed teams o pending clinical feedback. So tungod ini ang phase completion ang gi-measure dili lang kay ang work software, wala dayon makita ang actual problems nya hinay sab nga ang change control sa dihang nausab ang Epic Link API, accessibility requirements og telehealth authentication. So for this Scrum, makahatag unta og earlier nga visible nga paagi or pinaagi sa working sprint increments. Masayo unta ma-discover ang integration, accessibility o clinical workflows issues. Ang clinical feedback mahimo lang ninyo kung ibutang sa product ang backlog o prioritize during sprint planning. But dunay risk ang Scrum. Kinahanglan ni og frequent stakeholder participation, but limited ang availability sa clinicians. Possible nga dunay compliance o documentation gaps kung dili i-appeal ang privacy reviews. That's why sa simple nga explanation, sir and classmates, Waterfall offered a control but reacted slowly to change, while Scrum offered flexibility but required active stakeholders and strong compliance discipline. So that's for the question number 2. Question number 3, Dr. Mehta asks whether this team can pivot to Scrum at month 9. What is your recommendation and what would realistic transition plan look like? What organizational and technical prerequisites would need to be in place? So for my question number 3, my recommendation dili i-full ang kalit nga shift ngadto sa Scrum. It is better to have a controlled hybrid recommendation model because month 9 dili ni siya strained ang budget, delayed ang timeline, ubos ang moral og 53% features og complete. So the best option mao ang hybrid recovery with full transparency. Kinahanglan isulti ni Dr. Mehta sa board nga tinuod nga project status, mangayo og recovery authority o gibalhin ang remaining work ngadto sa sprint-based delivery while keeping formal governance for compliance, architecture ug major decisions. So for the recovery plan, so I have here for recovery plan, first reset the project baseline. So need i-review kung unsay components nga reusable kinahanglan refactor affected sa Epic Link API o failed sa WCAG 2.2. Next, define the minimum certifiable portal. So need i-prioritize ang patient identity, lab results, appointment, securing messaging, accessibility, security o audit controls, o ang AI triage o potential optional telehealth features mahimong ibalhin sa phase number 2. Next, use 2 to 3 week sprints. So matag sprint kinahanglan dunay working tested integrated o compliance review. Next, create one integrated backlog. Tanang work, API fixes, accessibilities, telehealth, clinical feedback, testing o documentation, hindi siya visible sa usa ka backlog. Next, number 5, set regular stakeholder reviews, mag-appoint o clinical representatives o mag-schedule o review every 2 to 3 weeks. Ang compliance team kinahanglan appeal sa sprint reviews. Last, number 6, improve technical practices, gamiton ang continuous integration, automated testing, shared coding, API testing, accessibility scanning, and frequent sandbox integration. So that's it for number 3. Ito sa number 4. So number 4, design a high-level hybrid framework for MidSync 2.0. Where would the boundaries be? And how would handoffs work? So my answer for this one, ang hybrid framework mao ang pinaka angay no para sa MidSync 2.0 because healthcare IT needs both control and flexibility. So waterfall style areas. Okay? So ang waterfall gamiton sa mga areas nga kinahanglan og formal approval og documentation. Next, regulatory compliance, enterprise architecture, patient identity, EHR integration, security og API standards. Number 3, budget and board governance, funding timeline, changes scope, decision og major risk. 4, final certification and release, UAT, security review, compliance sign-off, and production launch. For the Scrum style areas, in the right side, so ang Scrum gamiton sa mga areas nga kinahanglan og frequent testing og feedback. So we have 4, patient portal features, appointments, lab results, messaging, prescription og telehealth. Second, accessibility testing, remediation. So WCAG checks should be done every sprint. 3, API integration. So Epic Link and VidCare should be tested iteratively. 4, clinical workflow validation. Feedback should be reviewed during sprint demos and backlog planning. Next, alita sa handoffs. So ang handoff kinahanglan continuous, dili lang kay one-time transfer. Compliance requirements should become backlog items with clear acceptance criteria. Architecture decision should guide the Scrum teams. Every sprint should produce test results, accessibility reports, security notes, and clinical feedback records to compliance review. So board reports should combine waterfall, governance metrics, and agile delivery metrics, including risk, defects, certification, readiness, and completed working software. So sa simple nga explanations classmates, waterfall control compliance and major decisions, while Scrum handles development, testing, and continuous improvement. So that's for number 4. For the last question under case study 3, how should Carlos communicate the month 9 situation to the Valley Care Board? Draft the key message. How might Anika have structured stakeholders reporting differently under Scrum to prevent a similar shock? So, si Carlos, kinahanglan nga mo report to the board with transparency, accountability, o clear recovery plan. So, dili dapat nga i-blame tanan sa Epic Link, TechBridge, o compliance changes because ang crisis gikan sa external changes o internal project control weakness. So, ang pasabot na sa realistic ang April 2025 nga go live, ang Epic Link API 3.0 naka-apekto sa patient identity system o sa ang accessibility requirement ngadto sa WCAG 2.2a o delayed og 6 weeks ang duha ka TechBridge teams. That's why around 40% sa back-end work kinahanglang usbon. 214 UI components kinahanglang i-remediate ug mahimong ma-move ang launch ngadto sa September 2025. So kini mahimong maka-risk sa certification of possible nga naay 1.8 million annual loss in dollars. So kinahanglan usab dawaton ni Carlos nga ang dashboard wala nakapakita dayon sa real risk. Iyang i-recommend ang hybrid recovery, revised scope, and additional funding. Under Scrum, si Anika mas dapat mag-focus sa working sa working, testing, and integrating og accepted work software. Dili lang sa percentage o completeness sa mga phases. Ang sprint reviews, visible backlog, burn up charts, o risk tracking makatabang aron mas masayo makita ang delays and resolve feedback o integration problems. So, Carlos Waterfall reported focus on following the plan, while Anika Scrum reporting with focus on actual working results. So, overall, the waterfall understandable para sa MidSync 2.0 because regulated ang healthcare environment, but dili ni siya enough for changing the APIs, compliant requirements, complex integrations, limited stakeholders, availability, o strict deadline. So the best recovery option approach mao ang hybrid model. Waterfall for compliance, documentation, og executive control, while Scrum for the development, integration, clinical feedback, o accessibility fixes. So this approach, it will help the Valley Care nga maprotektahan ang certification, mabalik ang confidence sa board ug maka-deliver o portal nga compliant, functional ug useful sa patients ug clinicians. So that ends my presentation. I hope I deliver. Thank you for listening and see you next time.